Mr. Peters, do you have any aspirations to be a board member yourself one day?
Sure.
Okay. What would be the board salaries that people would get on the board for Stripe?
I do not know.
Do they get stock options?
I do not know how their compensation is set.
Bonuses? Are there bonuses that are paid out? Do you know?
I don't know, but I would surmise that they're not. It's not performance based.
It's not performance based. Interesting. Okay. So any shares in the company or anything like that? Is that part of it at all?
I actually do not know how the compensation is set.
Okay. So I mean, you'd want to be a board member one day, but you don't actually even know what the compensation would be of it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I've served on boards of nonprofits. It's as most boards provide a strategic and advice role to leadership of the organizations they're a part of. That is, I think, worthwhile work.
Okay, I'm a little bit concerned here because basically you've come here today and just said that you're okay with ripping off Canadians. 2.9% is the fee here. What's the fee in the United States?
Comparable.
But it's not the same.
I believe it's 15 bips less, but I'll confirm that.
2.7%? Is that what it is? What's your website says? 2.7%, right?
It's on our website.
Okay, per transaction in Canada is 30 cents. In the U.S., what is in the U.S. per transaction?
Per transaction cost?
Yeah.
I don't have that information at hand today. I'm sorry.
Okay, and then the extra fee. What would the extra fee be?
I believe it's 30 cents.
I think it's 30 cents in Canada, but in the United States.
Off the top of my head, I actually forget at the moment.
Well, you came from Washington. You live in the United States. You think you don't know what that in the U.S. it is? On the website, it's 5 cents. Okay, so why are you ripping off Canadians?
We did pass through the reduction, and for our users on flat rate pricing, we're shielding them from what would otherwise be a cost increase. And we haven't raised our prices in over 8 years.
Okay, what percentage on volume is a decrease then? If you said you've passed on a decrease, what percentage is that then on volume? What is that percentage?
For businesses on interchange plus pricing who get it's just passed through, the amount of reduction they get is exactly what the card networks agreed to provide.
Earlier today, you said that it was such a small change what the government was working with for you on that you weren't going to pass it along. Yet we see what this has done for we look at your revenue, the way it's just skyrocketed over time. I can tell you that a small difference is big. And I'm just going to use my own quick little story here. Many years ago, I worked construction making $14 an hour. I got a 50-cent pay raise. That was a lot of money for me, even though it's only 50 cents an hour. A small difference, a small amount makes a big difference for people and for companies in particular. Small businesses that are trying to get by here, they're looking to maybe expand their operations. That small number is a huge difference. So why on earth, especially if you've got a strategic advisor to the Prime Minister, why are you not passing along these savings to small businesses?
Well, I understand what you're saying, that a small amount can make a difference. In this case, you have to think about it in context of the many other things that a small business would care about. They care about increasing their sales. They care about having things work really well and being simple. And what we should be doing is considering it from their perspective, what are all of these things relative to one another? And we thought long and hard about this, and we looked at the small reduction relative to what they might lose, which is simple, clear pricing, and we felt like that was not a good trade-off. There are ways to make this more workable, and had we been involved in this negotiation, if it wasn't just a small set of parties.
But you are part of the negotiation, because at the end of the day, you have the strategic advisor to the Prime Minister on your board. You are involved in negotiations here. So quickly, what percentage of volume of transactions are on interchange plus pricing versus standard pricing in Canada?
We really were not involved in this negotiation. We found out about it just like the other witness in the news.
Yeah, Mark Carney's been on the board for over 2 months, though. This guy is part of the negotiations with the government. He's like, this guy is directly involved here. Like,
With respect, the board is not involved in this, and no board member, to my knowledge, has been involved in public policy advocacy in Canada.
so you're confident telling this committee that Mark Carney is not involved in putting in any lobbying or any strategic advice or public policy advice to the government of Canada?
I am confident that no, not to my knowledge, any board member has been involved in public policy advocacy in Canada.